Are the AUKUS submarines dead in the water?
AUKUS stinks, and that's an understatement.
Australia will buy 3 second-hand Virginia-class submarines instead of the original plan to buy 2 used and 1 new.
Is this a significant change? Yes.
Washington decided we weren't going to get a new Virginia-class submarine. We're going to get 3 second-hand ones.
We've moved, $5 billion into their accounts in the US already. Do we feel shortchanged by all this?
Well, it's very hard to see this development in AUKUS as good news.
So there are questions then that arise from that. How much life does that shave off, the life of that submarine?
We need to get to the bottom of why this decision was made, when it was made, and who made it.
We have literally said to them, they can name the price. They can give us the biggest lemon in the fleet. Give us 3 of them.
Most likely outcome is that we end up with no submarines at all. This is a train wreck of a project.
The main issue at the moment is the Virginia-class submarines. Originally, we were supposed to receive 2 second-hand Virginia subs and 1 brand new one. But now we're getting 3 second-hand subs and no new ones. These 3 refurbed US submarines are supposed to hold us over until we can get the brand new SSN-AUKUS submarines in the 2040s. And in the wake of China's recent ICBM test in the Pacific Ocean, there's plenty of discussion about whether Australia should be acquiring nuclear weapons of our own as a deterrence. Personally, I think all the naysayers are missing the point. AUKUS is about more than just subs and nukes. It's a framework that will allow Australia, the UK and the USA to share technology, people, skills and assets that help all 3 states to hold and maintain dominance over the ocean and the skies. Today I want to explain why I think the 3 second-hand subs aren't an AUKUS deal breaker, how we can use the partnership to beef up Australia's geopolitical power, and whether our nuclear-powered submarines should be equipped with nuclear-powered weapons. I'm Mel Pikos, and today we're talking tactics. The AUKUS update. So what's actually changed? At the recent AUKUS Defence Ministers meeting, Australia, the United Kingdom and the United States announced several important updates to the partnership. The biggest change relates to Australia's future Virginia-class submarines. When AUKUS was first announced, the plan was for Australia to acquire 3 Virginia-class submarines from the United States, 2 in-service submarines and 1 brand new submarine built specifically for Australia. That plan has now changed. Instead, Australia will receive 3 second-hand Virginia-class submarines that have already served with the United States Navy.
To be frank, this is what we wanted from the start, and that this is now what is going to happen is a great outcome for Australia.
Now, at first glance, that might sound like Australia is getting a worse deal, but there are some advantages to this.
Think about this as getting a second-hand Lamborghini that's been well serviced. The submarine that we're going to be getting is still one of the best submarines in the world.
What we will have here is a much simpler pathway. It will mean that the Virginia-class submarines that we are acquiring will all be of the same type.
You're not going to have to do additional training. It's going to have the same systems as the first 2 boats.
The Navy can now focus on mastering a single platform. Defence officials also say the change reduces costs and simplifies the overall transition to Australia's future SSN-AUKUS submarines.
That means they'll be cheaper and simpler for us to run.
These are extraordinary, capable platforms who will come to us with a long life remaining in that submarine fleet.
And importantly, the timeline hasn't changed. Australia is still expected to begin receiving Virginia-class submarines in the early 2030s before transitioning to SSN-AUKUSs in the 2040s. While the decision to acquire a 3rd second-hand submarine instead of a brand new one is not the ideal outcome, it's still a practical one. A refurbished, battle-tested submarine is far better than waiting years longer for a new build to enter service. When it comes to building Australia's undersea capability, the priority has to be getting more submarines in the water as quickly as possible. And there is plenty more benefit that we can get from AUKUS than just new submarines. More than just submarines. When most Australians hear the word AUKUS, they immediately think of nuclear-powered submarines, which is understandable. The subs have dominated the headlines ever since the agreement was announced back in 2021. But the reality is that AUKUS has always been much bigger than submarines. At its core, AUKUS is a framework for defence cooperation and advanced technology sharing between Australia, the United Kingdom, and the United States. The submarines are simply one part of a much broader partnership designed to ensure the three countries maintain a technological edge in an increasingly contested Indo-Pacific. The agreement is built around two official pillars. Pillar 1 is the one everyone knows. It's all about Australia's acquisition of nuclear-powered submarines. But Pillar 2 is about the development and delivery of advanced capabilities. That includes artificial intelligence, quantum technologies, cyber capabilities, autonomous systems, undersea warfare, and hypersonic weapons. Instead of each country developing them independently, AUKUS allows Australia, the UK, and the United States to work together, accelerate innovation, and field new capabilities much faster than they could alone. And in fact, during the same press conference where the second-hand submarines were discussed, it also announced a new signature project under Pillar 2.
We are announcing today the first signature project under Pillar 2, which will see all three countries invest in the development of cutting-edge payloads and enabling systems for uncrewed undersea vehicles, is a momentous occasion in what is the AUKUS journey.
And I think AUKUS needs to evolve even further. The evolution of AUKUS. If this partnership is going to shape the security of the Indo-Pacific for the next 50 years, then it needs to continue evolving alongside the strategic environment. Australia needs allies that can do more than simply fight alongside us. That's why I think it's time to start talking seriously about what an AUKUS Pillar 3 could look like. Not another weapons program, but a pillar focused on deeper integration between Australia, the United Kingdom, and the United States. The first priority should be people. The three countries should create much easier migration pathways for highly skilled workers in critical industries. Engineers, scientists, cyber specialists, software developers, defense manufacturers, and researchers should be able to move between Australia, Britain, and America with far fewer barriers. If talent can move as freely as ideas, all three countries become stronger. Second, I think we should dramatically expand technology sharing. Pillar 2 has already started this process, but there is enormous potential to go further. Instead of three countries solving the same problems independently, we should be pooling our expertise and accelerating innovation together. Finally, I think AUKUS needs greater capability sharing. One aircraft in particular stands out, the B-21 Raider. The United States reportedly plans to build around 200 of these next-generation stealth bombers, and I believe both Australia and the UK should become operators as well. For Australia, a squadron of around 12 B-21s would fill a capability gap, providing long-range strike capability across the Indo-Pacific. The United Kingdom could also benefit from a similar fleet, strengthening NATO's ability to deter Russian aggression and provide a highly survivable long-range strike capability in Europe. If nuclear-powered submarines are what allow AUKUS to dominate the oceans, then the B-21 Raider has the potential to become the dominant platform in the skies. And for Australia, the B-21 offers something else that is incredibly important. It gives us a powerful conventional deterrent. A stealth bomber capable of striking targets thousands of kilometers away with precision-guided conventional weapons dramatically raises the cost for any adversary considering military action against Australia, which raises an obvious question. If Australia can field capabilities like the B-21 Raider and nuclear-powered submarines, do we actually need our own nuclear weapons? To nuke or not to nuke? If we're investing hundreds of billions of dollars into nuclear-powered submarines, why are they not nuclear-armed? It's a question that comes up more and more as tensions in the Indo-Pacific continue to rise. My answer is no. Not because nuclear weapons aren't an effective deterrent, they certainly are, but because I don't believe Australia needs them. What Australia needs is the ability to convince any potential adversary that attacking us would come at an unacceptable cost that can be achieved without crossing the nuclear threshold. For one, Australia's security is built around our alliance with the United States, and that includes the protection provided by the US nuclear umbrella. While there is a growing conversation about reducing Australia's reliance on the United States, I think the opposite approach makes much more sense. In an increasingly uncertain world, Australia should be strengthening our alliance with the US, not weakening it. We are safer and our deterrence is stronger when we stand alongside our closest strategic partner. And secondly, think about the capabilities Australia is already acquiring. Tomahawk cruise missiles, long-range precision strike weapons, conventionally armed nuclear-powered submarines, and if I had my way, the B-21 Raider. Taken together, those capabilities create an extraordinarily powerful conventional deterrent. The B-21 is particularly significant. It's one of the most advanced aircraft ever built. Thanks to its stealth characteristics and enormous range, an adversary never knows exactly where it is, what it's carrying, or which target it could strike. That uncertainty is a deterrent in itself. A B-21 appearing almost anywhere in the region with little warning would dramatically complicate an adversary's military planning. Combined with long-range missiles and nuclear-powered submarines, Australia would possess one of the region's most credible conventional strike capabilities while maintaining its status as a non-nuclear weapons state. Targeting strategically important infrastructure could be just as effective as a nuclear weapon in imposing unacceptable costs on an adversary. Australia has long been a strong supporter of nuclear non-proliferation. Acquiring our own nuclear arsenal would almost certainly trigger regional concern, damage relationships with our neighbours, and could even encourage other countries in the Indo-Pacific to pursue nuclear weapons of their own. Australia doesn't need to join the nuclear club, but we do need to become so capable conventionally that no adversary would ever think it was worth testing us. That's the kind of deterrence Australia should be aiming for and what the AUKUS partnership should deliver us. If we get to that, I think the high price tag is probably going to be worth it. But what do you think? Are you upset that we're getting a third second-hand Virginia-class sub instead of a brand new one? Do you agree that Australia should operate the B-21 Raider? And what are your thoughts on Australia acquiring nuclear weapons? As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section down below. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram for some hot takes on recent news, and subscribe here if you haven't already. That's it for today. I'm Mel Pikos, and we've been talking tactics.